even though it's a really hot market for sellers, we can still do things, right, to help them make more money on their homes, have a faster, better, stickier sale. So anybody have a good tip that they want to share?
Sure. One of the goals when selling your house is to show the most spacious home that you can. If you're going to still live in the home, start packing. Within Tacoma city limits, there's a call to haul where they'll come out twice a year, and you can just basically put all the stuff out there on the curb and they'll just come and pick it up, which is pretty awesome. Really, what you want to do is take your house and all the stuff that's in there, make it about half or even like a third of what's in there.
Yeah.
Just pack it all up, put it in a pod, put it in storage, take it to grandma's house, whatever, and just kind of make your house feel a little bit more open and spacious and everything.
So I feel like a big impact is the kitchen. If you can get your clients to take all the appliances off the countertops, open it up, those cabinets, open shelving is very popular right now, so stage them, make them look pretty. Pinterest, go there. What was the other one that Sloan said? House.
Yeah.
That's another place to be able to get some good ideas.
Because most people don't actually live the way you're going to sell their house for the most amount of money. You're an expert. You've been doing several of your own houses, making them look primo.
Yeah, so if you have like $1,000 budget, the best impact on the interior, I would say, is floors and paint. So if you can update some new flooring and get some paint on the walls and potentially an updated backsplash, that would be key.
What if you don't have any money though for improvements? There's still a lot you can do, right?
Yeah.
Well, just cleaning, it makes such a big difference, and it's such a silly little thing, but I mean, cleaning baseboards and, you know, the windowsill and the gunk that gets in between on the slider and everything, it makes such a big difference because you come in and, I don't know, even if you don't notice it, your subconscious notices it.
I think a lot of times people overlook the bugs in the light fixtures and just, I think in the Pacific Northwest, having your windows and your light fixtures really clean, it really does make a difference. It gives a really nice glow.
What was the other thing though you had mentioned with fluorescent bulbs that you have to watch out for?
So you want the warm bulbs. What I found is the 100-watt warm bulbs create the most light in a room, and also, I mean, they don't take up as much energy too, which is nice.
And you want consistent.
Yes.
Whatever you choose,
Right.
you don't want the 3 different kinds of
Different temperatures.
LED.
Yeah.
Speaking of staging houses though, we also talked about the idea that when a house is empty, there's sort of different implications on that, things you have to be prepared for.
Yeah, well, so I think one of the things that people are scared about is moving their possessions. So from insurance standpoint, it's like I get calls and people will be like, oh, well, my stuff's in storage, do I need this separate policy? And you're like, no, you don't, because your personal property coverage is worldwide. And also, if you're not going to be living in your house, you might want to change it over to a landlord policy. So that's basically the house is vacant and it's different coverages and it works differently, and you're covered for different things. And then also, if you're going to be living in a rental, you want to have rental insurance as well.
So thinking ahead a little bit to how your coverage needs could change. And some companies will give you a break for staging a vacant house. Some insurance companies will give you a little better premium even though it's vacant at stage, because I think it reduces the break-in rate. Other prep though, some of the prep happens way before you're going to sell a house.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking in terms of a tip. I mean, in thinking of if you're considering selling or wanting to sell in the future, for a lot of people, those big projects, contractors can be difficult to get now. And so thinking a ways out on projects you want to do to add value to your home prior to selling it. And if you can do those in advance, then you can enjoy them prior to listing your home. And one of the big ones that we talked about was, the paint cans. I mean, some of the last minute things you don't think about grabbing or you don't know what to do with necessarily, starting to open those up and let them dry out.
Every buyer ever has complained about inheriting the last person's paint cans.
Yeah.
Well, and painting is a good thing, another prep item from a curb appeal standpoint. I mean, if you don't have any money, we talked about deep cleaning, painting always is really high impact inside and out, giving your front door a coat of paint. If you only had $500 to spend, the classic combo of giving your front door paint, putting on new house numbers, buying a new doormat, and putting some sort of floral, a flower pot or something outside, an accent piece. And the biggest one, of course, at the end of the day is great photos, video, marketing, right? that all of the work that you do.
But then on the other side of the spectrum, if you do have some money to spend, then it really would be a good idea to consider doing a pre-inspection. If you have a pre-inspection, then you can rest assured that once you do find a buyer, they're not going to have any problems, or at least as few as possible. Yeah.
One thing that if a bathroom has a good layout, why not update the fixtures? A new toilet can go a long ways, and
Who likes to use somebody else's toilet?
very true. Maybe branching out to something else. You know, IKEA has some great wall-mounted, or just some maybe a little bit more modern and more aesthetically pleasing. So not just going Home Depot or Lowe's.
There's actually a couple of really good stores also that I think average consumers are not thinking of, like a Crescent Lighting, or going down to some of the plumbing supply houses like Rosen. I mean, the options are not necessarily that much more expensive.
Seattle Lighting has the best prices for cabinet pulls. I mean, blows Home Depot out of the water. They're like $8 a pull or whatever, and $1 or something there, and it's the same. Those modern looking. It's killer. Yeah, you would never look there.
My husband and I did a flip. We went to Home Depot. We actually we'd go weekly and just check out if they had stuff like that was on sale in the back. They were in great condition, but we were able to, if you're on a budget.
Yeah, and if you know your dimensions, then you really can kind of shop online, and
That's a great
lot of
tip.
That's what I've done with our house and different projects.
And another thing with shopping around, if you want to think way outside the box, there's like reuse places. There's Habitat for Humanity. There's like Earthwise. There's Second Use. There's a lot of like different places that you can go, maybe get some inspiration, or maybe like I've found some awesome like mid-century lighting fixtures that just looked great in my last house.
Yeah, I know that the to-do list can be really daunting sometimes, but that's really where we come in as real estate brokers, and we can help our clients prioritize where we're going to get the best bang for our buck. And
they always think it's worse than it actually is.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good place for us to step in and help them maximize their return on that investment, whatever the investment is, whether it's sweat equity, $500, $2,000. I think we can give them guidelines on that.
for sure.
Yeah.